Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into a very special edition of Final Whistle. Usually I record on Tuesdays and Fridays, but I have a special guest who took time out of her day today to come speak with us. So I have Ka-Deidre Simmons, assistant basketball coach of the Seton Hall women's basketball team. One of the greatest Seton Hall players in history. She's the leader in assists, steals, being the third all-time leading scorer in Seton Hall women's basketball history. Ka-Deidre, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to speak with us today.
Yep, no problem. Anything for you.
Thank you. So let's just jump right in. I want to start early on, especially for you. You were Newark South Orange grown, then you ended up committing to Seton Hall. Did your staying close to home, did that play any role of you staying close to home and selecting the Seton Hall Pirates, being an All-American?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at first, because Seton Hall was recruiting me really early, and I thought that I wanted to go away from home, So, I never really considered Seton Hall until I actually started to consider them. And so they reached out to me, and we spoke, and they brought me up on campus, and I had other offers to play other places, and I had visits set up as well. But once I visit Seton Hall, I just thought that it's close to home. My family can come watch me play, and I'm a huge family person, so having my mom, my grandma, my siblings, and everyone there at my games to support me was huge, and the reason why I chose Seton Hall.
That's fantastic. Little homegrown story there. And then I just want to transitioning to once you started coming onto campus. I know Seton Hall was struggling a little bit at the time within the program. How was playing as a freshman right away create an impact for you, and then trying to create a winning culture within the Seton Hall program?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to play right away, and the coach who recruited me, she was, huge on, me just going there and helping and just playing for her and her program. So I just wanted to go somewhere where I knew I was going to play. I didn't want to sit on a bench. I didn't want to play behind anyone. I knew that, I could come in and impact the program as soon as as soon as I put a jersey on, I was just that confident. And I just thought that the program can only rise from here. And so it was huge for me to just, play right away. She promised me that. And, it just took off from there. Like, I really trusted her. I knew she was going to help me grow as a person, as a player. So it was just the right fit for me.
Absolutely. And then I know the team was going through a little bit of a rough patch. You ended up getting injured in your sophomore year, taking your medical red shirt. And then what was that process like, trying to recover and re-motivate yourself and try and reignite the team, especially with you coming off of an injury, trying to find a new focus and a new perspective in the game after being injured?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. Injuries are tough, but it's a part of the game. But the injury I had, I couldn't play couldn't, compete for a complete year. And so it was tough, especially being like the captain and the leader of the program. It's kind of like, how do I still, impact my team, and how can I motivate them when I'm not on the floor? Like, I'm not playing, my team is struggling without me, and it was a huge blow for me. And I actually, I checked out at one point. Like, I just wasn't, cheering anymore. Like, class, I wasn't doing well in classes. Like, I really was going through a lot that year. And so my teammates just, encouraged me. My coaches continued to encourage me, told me that, they need to hear my voice. I need to be vocal, continue to, lead them from the bench. And that's what I did. Um, and like I said, tearing your ACL it's tough, and I always use basketball as an outlet. So, it's times where I couldn't walk, I couldn't run because of the process. And so it's like, or, if I'm stressed out and, I'm down and out, I used to turn to basketball, but where do I turn if I can't, play basketball? So it was just huge. But, I was able to watch my team, sometimes, we struggled, so I just saw certain things that, I wanted to be better as a player, and I also wanted to be better for my team. So it was kind of like it was like a blessing in disguise, honestly, because I felt like I learned a lot, and so much I learned just by watching my team and watching film and just watching the game. Like, I think I've grown from that moment. as a better player and as a better leader.
Did you think you gained a different perspective, especially watching from the bench for the entire year? And what did you take into the following year by watching that entire season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was just, from a basketball perspective, like I would see, my teammates miss, wide open shots, and now I'm like, I don't want to miss wide open shots. I see how important it is to make that, that shot when you're wide open, even, just being more vocal, just having a better presence. I just knew that, I needed to provide that, because I was more of like I always led by example. I didn't really speak much, but after watching my team, I just realized that like, my voice has to be heard, and I have to lead vocally as well as with my actions. So I think and also I felt like being that I gained an extra year, I was able to just lift more, go to the weight room more, and I was older, so I gained just a different perspective of the game. I even cherished and valued the game of basketball more than before I got injured. So it was a lot. I took a lot away from that moment, and it definitely molded me into the player and the person that I am today, and the player that I was back then.
That's phenomenal. And just, I know you really took off your redshirt junior and your redshirt senior years. What fueled you to try and almost become that person that you wanted to have the ball down the stretch late in games and to be that true leader to help this team, especially in 2015, really take off and bring Seton Hall back to some prominence?
Yeah, I mean the coach I had, playing for Ann Donovan, she played professionally, and she coached in the WNBA. She coached the Olympic team. She played for the Olympic team. So just her perspective and what she brought to the program helped me. It molded me, and the way she spoke to me and encouraged me was the same way she spoke and encouraged her pro athletes that she was coaching. So she gave me that confidence and demanded more from me. So at the end of the shot clock, she told me, listen, I want the ball in your hands, and she would say it in front of the team so that the team knows, the ball has to be in DD hands at the end of the shot clock. DD has to take these shots. And it's times where, because I used to pass up the shots, we would watch film and she's just like, listen, you have to take these shots. I don't care. You make it, you miss it. I don't care. You have to take those shots. And so, after her departure, she went back to the WNBA to coach. It stuck with me, and, I always watch basketball. So I watch, the Cappy Pondexters and Diana Taurasi's and all those big time players. They want the ball in their hands at the end of the shot clock, at the end of the game, and I just took that on, and I had the confidence, and she gave me that. So it was honestly, after she left, Coach B came in, it just stuck with me, and that's just who I became. I just wanted the ball in my hands every chance I got.
Without a doubt. Take that, put the team on your shoulders, no matter what the cost was, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And then just, all right, tell me about this 2015 team that ended up making history, co-regular season champs in the Big East, receiving in that large berth into the NCAA tournament, which was the first time in over 20 years being able to reach back to the dance. What was this 2015's team's identity, and like how were you guys able to grow so well and be able to be regular season champs, post regular season champs, excuse me, in the Big East
Yeah, I think
Conference?
that team, we were so confident, and the year before that we made it to the Sweet 16 of the WNIT, and we were competing with these teams, and I took it as if I'm like, we're playing against the teams that came second in their conference, so if we can compete against these teams, I mean, I don't I like my chances with anybody, and so I just molded my team, motivated them to just believe that as well, and after I was able to bring in my friend, I call her my cousin, Deja Simmons. I was able to bring her in because I knew she was leaving Alabama, so I just reached out to her. I said, listen, I need your help, and and it was crazy because she didn't want to step on my toes. She saw that what I was doing for Seton Hall, and she didn't want to, like, out of respect, she just didn't want to, come to the program and, just interfere with, what I had going on. But, I wanted to win so bad. I don't care. I knew she was she was going to be a great addition for us. And so I was able to, encourage her to come play with me her 5th year and play with my 5th year. So we had a lot of experience on that team. You know, she was a 5th year, I was a 5th year. Janae Johnson, she was a 6th year. Tab, you know, she stayed in the program since her freshman year. And Chizzy, she was a senior. So, you know, that starting five, you know, we had so much experience and we played together other than Deja. But with her being so experienced and older, you know, she was just able to adapt to her role and everybody embraced her. And we knew, you know, we knew that we were unstoppable. You know, we knew it and we played every game as if, you know, we were the best team in the country. And it got us to the sweet to the tournament, and it was just an amazing feeling for me, and it was something I always dreamed about for the program, and I wanted for the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just talk about Coach B for a second, Coach Pizzella. What kind of impact has he brought to you when he came into the program, and now you being a coach working under him? What is that like? What is Coach Pizzella to you?
I mean, he's given me an opportunity to come back to Seton Hall to coach, you know, and I'll forever be grateful for that. He came in and took over the program, and he's a winner, you know, like that's one thing that, you know, you just can't take from him. You know, he's a winner. Like, you know, he was winning at Iona. He came here, he changed the offense, and we started to win. We believed in him. You know, at first, nobody likes change, right? So, you know, when he came in, you know, the team just really didn't want change. You know, so we didn't really adapt to the staff as quickly as we should have. But then when we started winning, we like, you know what, listen, you know, this guy knows what he's talking about. You know, we need to, you know, follow the game plan and just do what's asked. And we started to win more games. And you know, he's been very, as a coach, he's always encouraged me. He always just, you know, gave me that, you know, that extra confidence that a player wants to have, you know, walking on the floor. You know, every time I stepped foot on the floor, he always told me I was the best player on the floor. You know, and that meant a lot to me. And coming back to coach with him and learn so much from him is just an honor. It's really an honor.
Absolutely, that's awesome. I mean, I've gotten to know Coach B a little well myself, working in the athletic department. He's always happy. You know, he's always got a smile on his face, even if it's a little rough going on with him. But he's always trying to make everybody else in the department happy. Which is awesome
Yeah.
to see as well. On and off the court, he's a great guy.
Yep.
And all right, I gotta go to this. Last June, you were inducted into the Seton Hall Athletics Hall of Fame, one of the youngest to ever do it. Just walk me through that. What's that honor feel like, being a Seton Hall of Famer?
And I honestly, I never thought that would happen. You know, like I said, you know, coming to Seton Hall, I just wanted to just help. I just wanted to just impact the program. That's all I wanted. And I definitely wanted Seton Hall to be, you know, one of the teams that, you know, or one of the programs that you hear about more than Rutgers and St. John's. You know, when people talk about Jersey, it's just Rutgers. You know, you never really heard Seton Hall. At least me growing up, I didn't really hear about Seton Hall, and I wanted Seton Hall to be, you know, brought back to the forefront. You know, I wanted people to, you know, when you think about playing basketball in Jersey, you also think about Seton Hall. You know, outside of Rutgers, and so that's what I wanted for the program as well. And now I think we've definitely done that, and that was huge for me. That's all I wanted for the program, and so to be inducted, it was just like, wow, like I guess I really did impact this program. And it just means a lot, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, my hard work and everything I've done for the program is appreciated.
Absolutely, and it's really an honor that, like, I got to know you on a personal level as well. It's like, it's awesome just to, like, to get to know you on a personal level, on a professional level. It's been a real treat for me as well. No, seriously. And then just a little bit of a personal question for you. Out of all the accolades that you've received in your career, which one is your personal favorite?
Mm, I mean, outside of the Hall of Fame, I would say being being an All American. You know, like that on in the NCAA, like that's just, you know, just having that acknowledgement. just means a lot, and that's what I needed. I needed those, those. I needed to play at that level. I needed to play in the NCAA tournament. I needed that acknowledgement to possibly get to the WNBA. And I knew, and my team knew. My teammates used to play for me. And that was huge too. My teammates, most of them didn't want to play professional. But I did, so they knew that we had to win. And every day, they played for me, and they wanted to win for me, and that was just huge. Like, again, that from my teammates, getting their all every single day, just because they knew how important it was for me to get to the national level and receive those accolades was just I mean, I will forever cherish my teammates, and I think, just being, like I said, being an All-American, just being one of the chosen players in out of all of NCAA, getting that it was just huge for me, and I'll forever cherish that as well.
Absolutely. Just what was it like being able to be playing professionally? How was the game different, if at all? And can you go
You know,
into detail a little bit about that?
yeah, sure. So Ann Donovan, she left, Seton Hall to go back to coaching in the WNBA, and she was at Connecticut, and
Yeah.
so, and so I had an agent, and he was talking to teams and everything like that, but we weren't really, sure if I was going to get drafted or not. I like my chances though, because it's crazy. Like, a lot of the point guards that got drafted that year, we played and we beat them, and my numbers were better. So it was just weird that, they got drafted over me. But it also, again, I feel like if Seton Hall, we would have won, my freshman year, if we've just been at the top of the Big East, then I probably would have got drafted, because these guards, they go into these big time schools and they're winning every single year. So that helped them as well, and we didn't have that, we was building and trying to get there. So, so they got drafted over me, but, Ann Donovan, she brought me into training camp. She gave me the opportunity to play with her and her team in Connecticut. And so, I played in all the exhibition games. I played in all of the scrimmages. Then they already had their roster, so they already had 12, like a 12-player roster already. So she really brought me in to get that experience to play against other teams. And if they was to, call her about me, then, she would have, great things to say about me, and just so I can get seen, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great, man. I mean, playing in WNBA was just amazing. Like, it's amazing. And then playing overseas is just also amazing as well. It's a great opportunity to leave the country and travel and just play, and you play professionally. So it's a job now, and it's much different, and I think, a lot of players don't really understand how different it is, because it's now a job. It's not college basketball where, you get free gear. You know what I'm saying? Like, you play in front of your family. Like, it's just completely different. And that was tough for me too, being away from home, not having my support system with me, like they were when I was in college. So it was definitely difficult for me, but it's just a business. It's a
Yeah.
business. And I actually would prefer playing in the WNBA over going overseas any day. Like, overseas was just a lot. It's
Yeah. How
different.
much different do the international teams play in comparison to the WNBA? Because I
It's
know the style of the game's a little bit different on some level.
Yeah, and it's just, so, certain calls, so, like, things that I used to do, or the way I play now, like, I'll say, like, my first step, I can get away with that. It's not a travel. I just step and go. Internationally, that's a travel. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to just change my game, because that was, I relied on that. I relied on, getting past my defender. But they said, it was a travel. So I'm like, so I literally have to catch the ball, dribble first, and then go, where I couldn't just get it, rip and go, because that's a
Yeah.
travel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just very difficult. And then I think another thing, playing overseas, it was just, because because I was American and other Americans experienced the same thing, we don't get fouls called for us, like, we have to literally get knocked over to get calls, and I don't know what that's about, but it was just, overseas is just different. And WNBA is, it's just like college in a sense, but you're able to touch more, NCAA on the women's side, you can't put your hand on a defender,
Mm-hmm.
an offensive player. So, but playing WNBA, you can be more physical. You can just play basketball. I loved it. I loved it. It was by far one of the best experiences for me. Like I played against, Cappie Pondexter. I played against, a ton of great players, and it was just amazing. It was just amazing. And that's why I like coaching. Like I want the girls to experience that. I want them to understand how hard it is to get there. And I love coaching. I really love coaching. I enjoy it, and that's why I got into coaching to give those girls or try to get those girls to have the same experience that I had. From the coaches I played for to getting to play professionally. Like it's great. The coaches that I played for, they gave back to me. They molded me. They helped me grow as a woman. And that's just something that I want to provide for our girls today.
Absolutely, that's a great segue into my next question. Actually, what's the difference been like from adjusting from a player now to a coach? What's that challenge been like?
Yeah, it's been. I think my first year was a little challenging me because I didn't want to be seen as Dee the basketball player. I wanted to be seen as now a coach, and so trying to transition was a little bit tough because I didn't want the girls to look at me as if like I'm like a peer. And but instead I wanted them to respect me, understand that I'm a coach now, and I don't play anymore, but I don't mind playing basketball with them, but I just didn't want to be seen as like like another teammate pretty much. And so I had to find a balance. I definitely had to find a balance of how to communicate to them as a coach. And so it was difficult at first, just coming in and trying to just, like I said, demand that respect as just a coach other than a player. They of course know who I am. They definitely respect what I've done for the program, so they know that part. But it's just getting them to now just understand that I'm no longer a player, and certain things I'm just not gonna tolerate because I'm now a coach. So that was a little bit tough, but now I think they got it. They figured it out. They know that, when we step in those lines, it's all about basketball. It's all about basketball. Outside, we can joke. I don't mind. We can do whatever. But, when we step in those lines, it's about basketball. And it's one goal is to win, is to continue to build the program, which I'm very passionate about. And that's it, so. But like I said, I love what I do. The girls are great. Like they respect me. They embraced me when I came in. The staff loves me. I love them back. And I just love being at Seton Hall. I love being at Seton.
Absolutely. And then let's just transition to this year now. So I know you guys had a little bit of a stoppage due to COVID-19, and everyone's going through it. It's just impressive that you guys are even out there playing, which is a huge win in itself. But how difficult has it been trying to handle COVID-19 with this season with so many uncertainties going along with it?
Yeah, I mean, we're still handling it. Like I don't think there's a right way to do it or a wrong way to do it. Like I really, I think everybody's just learning as the season, go on. And, it was, we did have to shut down, and, we couldn't practice. The girls couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything. But what we did which was great. Coach B actually prepared for that. And so before that even happened, we had put together like a package pretty much. And in that, it had, a scouting report of the upcoming games. They had, like a workout session in there where they can like look on YouTube. We gave them a basketball as well. We gave them a stretch band so they could stretch. We also gave them a dumbbell so that if they wanted to, they can still try to get a workout in the room, try to dribble the basketball a little bit. So we actually kind of prepared for that. So but again, there's nothing like getting on the floor and running up and down. So the girls were definitely winded when they came back. And they still trying to figure it out, So our upcoming game, our first game, is going to be interesting to see how the girls respond, see how their bodies respond. and go from there because it's tough. You know, it's a really tough process. You know, even setting up the gym now is different. Everything's different. We still figuring it out. We still figuring it out.
Absolutely. And then just what has been the hardest issue with trying, especially with scheduling? You guys have already postponed games or canceled games, and then you're rescheduling different games that you may not end up have thought you would have, like in playing on a couple days. Like, hey, you're playing this person, that game gets canceled, and you're playing a completely different opponent. What is the challenge of trying to be prepared for these kind of games been like?
Yeah, I mean, Coach B, he's been doing an amazing job with, just trying to reschedule games and calling up his friends to try to get those get games going. Because most of our games, our out of conference games, are all like close games. So we're playing like Ryder, well, we would have played Ryder. We playing Fordham, who's close to us. We're playing St. Peter's, who's close. We're playing all local teams. So that's what Coach B's been trying to do. And like I said, it's tough, and the girls understand that. So we had to prepare. For now we preparing for teams that we weren't gonna play. And the girls are like, they just want to play. Like, they've been practicing since July. So at this point they just want to play, and they don't care who they play. They just want to play, and that's been great too. So they don't mind if we had 1 day to prepare, 2 days to prepare. It really doesn't matter to them. They just want to play. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been tough for us as a staff, but it's been easy to coach the girls because they just want to play.
Absolutely. And then just my final couple questions. What does this team need to do this season to have a successful year, and what are your team's overall team goals going into this season?
Yeah, I mean, we're just big right now on just playing together. We have 4 freshmen, and we lost some seniors last year, so
Mm-hmm.
we trying to get our team right now to just believe in each other, play with confidence, and play as a team. Our style doesn't change. We're gonna run the floor. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run. We're gonna push. We're gonna try to score the basketball at every chance we get. And that's what we want to do. So that didn't change. But we just right now we just want the girls to just believe in each other and play for each other. And that's gonna be huge. That's gonna be huge. And I think it's great that they all get this year back. So right now we just like let's just play, let's have fun, let's figure it out, and just go for it. I think we definitely can be at least top 5 in the Big East this year. And I think I like our chances against UConn. Honestly, last year we played UConn. Our team was very confident. That's one thing that like I just try to harp on, like just play with confidence. And last year's team had that, and this year's team, I think they're definitely confident, but they have their moments, and they're young, so they have their moments where they need us to give them that confidence and motivate them and reassure them. But I like our chances against anybody in the Big East, and I mean, I definitely want to finish first, and that's the goal. That's the goal. Finish first, and to compete. That's it.
Yeah, as a Seton Hall alum myself, all we want is to see is success, right? We want that success for the kids, especially for them. Ka-Deidre, thank you for taking your time out of your day today. I know you guys open up tomorrow against St. Peter's. Good luck, and good luck for the rest of the season. Thanks for coming on and taking your time out of your day.
No problem. Anytime. Appreciate it.
Of course. That's it for this edition of Final Whistle. Have a good day, everybody.